What is the difference between break and continue statements in C#? It is actually quite easy to understand what these statements do. The break statement is used to exit or terminate a loop or switch statement prematurely. When encountered, the break statement immediately exits the innermost loop or switch statement it is within. This means that the execution of the loop or switch statement stops at the point where the break statement is encountered, and the program continues executing the code after the loop or switch statement. On the other hand, the continue statement is used to skip the rest of the current iteration of a loop and move on to the next iteration. When encountered, the continue statement jumps to the next iteration of the loop, skipping any remaining code within the current iteration. This means that the execution of the loop continues, but any code below the continue statement within the current iteration is not executed. To put it simply, break helps you exit a loop or switch statement early, while continue allows you to skip the rest of the current iteration and move to the next iteration. These statements give you control over the flow of your program within loops and switch statements, allowing you to make decisions based on certain conditions or requirements. Let's start with a quick example. Here we have a for loop that iterates from 0 to 4. When I becomes 3, we encounter the break statement, which immediately terminates the loop and exits its execution. As a result, the loop stops at that point, and the message breaking the loop is displayed. And here is another example of the break statement. Here we have an array of names. We iterate over each name using a for each loop. When we encounter the name Adam, we use the break statement to exit the loop immediately. This is useful in situations where we want to find a specific element or condition and stop further processing once that condition is met. Now let's take a look at how the continue statement works. Here's an example of the continue statement. In this example, we have an array of numbers. We iterate over each number using a for each loop. Inside the loop, we check if the number is even. If the number is even, we encounter the continue statement. The continue statement then skips the remaining code in the loop for that iteration and moves to the next iteration. This means that only the odd numbers are printed to the console, as the even numbers trigger the continue statement and are skipped. The continue statement allows us to skip specific iterations and continue with the next iteration of the loop. And here's another example of the continue statement. In this code snippet, we have an array of fruits. We iterate over each fruit using a for each loop. Inside the loop, we check if the length of the fruit's name is less than 5 characters. If the condition is true, we encounter the continue statement, which skips the remaining code in the loop for that iteration and moves to the next iteration. This means that only the fruits with a name length of 5 or more characters are printed to the console. The continue statement allows us to skip specific iterations based on certain conditions. Again, this was a rather brief tutorial that shows how the break and continue statements are used. If you want to learn more, check out the official documentation or visit our website codeprepping.com, where we have hundreds of interview questions with answers. Thank you for watching.